Hey, what's up, Scorpio, and welcome back to Shadow Nexus 13. I am your host, Justin, aka Thranadian. Alright. If you're new here, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, drop a comment. Let me know how this is hitting for you, right? And hit the notification bell so you can get notified anytime that I drop some new content. Ding ding. Alright. If you're not new here, thank you for sticking around, and I appreciate you and all your loving temperance, right? So, Scorpio, this is your December 2025 monthly oracle reading for the Alchemy Elementals Shaman Oracle deck. And we are also doing something new here where we are tapping and tuning into the energetic vibrations of the 13th constellation of Ophiuchus, and to relay those messages through me as a channel to you through you so that you can integrate this information. I will be using the Oracle of the Hekatean Path. Alright? Stick around and make sure you watch all the way to the end of the read, because I will also be doing the Chaldean Numerology breakdown for the synchronistic codes that you had, and you had a fucking shit ton. Scorpio, let me tell you what. 211, 311, 317, 334, 444, and 522. Alright? So, I will include the screenshots for the synchronicity, which will come after the end of the video, which comes with a collage of slideshows to take you out and keep you entertained, where there will be further important messages for self-growth as well. So stick around for that. You don't want to miss anything. If you do, well, you might be missing something important. So let's go ahead and jump into your Alchemy Elementals. The first card that you had out, Scorpio, is Water, Ocean, Moon. All right. Get a drink real quick. There exists a deep well of knowledge within our emotions and our intuition, but there is no shortcut to these treasures. The only way to access this wisdom is to journey into the deepest depths of ourselves and to trust the subtle, sensitive truths that await us there. This knowledge is delicate. Sometimes it is only half formed, molded of metaphor, image, symbol, and feeling. Trust the knowingness that exists inside of you. Dare to perceive what is hidden and can only be found through your intuition. Do not doubt this knowledge, and do not doubt your ability to access it. Your confidence is the key to unlocking the secrets that lie therein. Within. Your second card out is Land, Mountain, Star. Okay? Land, Mountain, Star. The compilation of the energies that have carried you through the initiations you have already endured, the lessons you've learned, and the obstacles you've overcome form a powerful and mighty toolkit that will support you through future challenges. When you take inventory of all the things you've made it through, you will realize that the courage, the strength, and the resourcefulness that supported you through those difficult times are still with you now. These tools you've gathered from the difficulties of the past serve as armor that protects you and as tools that will allow you to navigate the unknown that lies before you now. When you choose, remember to call forth the tools and the gifts that carried you through those hardships and those experiences as you face the challenges that are heading your way instead of reacting in fear and confusion. Then you will triumph over yet another soul initiation, like the lit leader that you are. The third card that you had out here, Scorpio, is a Fire Tribal Moon. All right. So Tribal Fire Moon. Sacred communication weaves connection with the tribe. Communication becomes sacred when we speak from the heart instead of speaking from the mind. Words spoken from the heart activate the great flame that connects us all. Words spoken from the heart spark remembrance of our unity. Words spoken from the heart heal and activate, inspire, and harmonize. Give voice to your emotions with language sourced from your heart. It's not about sounding smart or educated or grammatically stylish. It's about being true. Give voice to your truth and your vulnerability in service to that great flame of unity, such that it may burn brighter, warming not just you, but your friends, your family, your community, and your soul tribe. The fourth card you have out here is Fire Volcano Star. All right. They say that with great power comes great responsibility. One of those great responsibilities is humility. Humble leaders understand that the power they wield is meant to serve the people. Recognize yourself as a vessel for something greater. Take care that your thoughts, words, and actions are steeped in humility while always serving the best interest of the collective. The spirits are pointing you toward a pathway that will lead you to your magnificence. Walk this path with humility, making sure to never exalt yourself above others, but to walk alongside them, inspiring and igniting them with your passion, your integrity, and your fucking litness. The fifth card that you had out here, Scorps, is Water, Ocean, Sun. Right. Water, Ocean, Sun. Water, Ocean, Sun. You did not come to this planet to suffer, my love. You came here to sing and laugh, to play and love and create. Nothing awakens magic and possibility quite like joy does. Heartfelt joy is expansive and infectious. The more joy you embody, the more joy you create. And the more joy you spread among your tribe, well, this is how we uplift the world, by filling our own cups and vibrating joy out into the world. while bringing beautiful, life enhancing experiences into our lives, which create more pleasure and more ease. Joy opens up doorways of possibilities that move mountains and manifest miracles. What brings you joy? Do more of that, dear one. Lots more of that. And your 6th card, Scorpio, is the infinite power, right? The power card ties into the theme of discernment because the journey of power is all about learning to differentiate between false power and true power. True power serves what is best for others in order for them to adapt, evolve, expand, grow, and amplify. It is the ability to lift people up and to show them what is possible. True power is vulnerable, open, and transparent. It supports that which makes a difference, not just in our own lives, but in the lives of many. When people or institutions try to impose their will onto other beings or to enslave them or infuse them with fear, lack, or division, that, my dear, is false power. That is straight up misuse of power, and true power will not bow down to that shit. When this card appears in your spread, you know the spirits are offering insight into your own personal journey in the realms of power and are inviting you to refine your discernment accordingly. The 7th card that you had out here, Scorpio, is the love card. Right? Love card. So let's do a little Love 101 on page 101. Sounds like balance, right? 1 and 1 being the 2. I mean, already talked about that intuition and emotion with that moon, right? Of course. Anyhow, when you draw the love card, you know the card is speaking to your soul's journey and the ways of the heart. The love card is about operating from the heart, leading from the heart, and walking what my ancestors called the pathway of the heart. The pathway of the heart is guided by expansion and flow. It is about connecting authentically from a place of true freedom, true sovereignty, and true liberation. A lot of people like to think the love card is about their soulmate or their twin flame or some Disney fairy tale, happily ever after romance kind of thing. Except that's all matrix programming that tries to convince people that love is something outside of themselves that they have to chase, that they have to cling to, and that they have to jump through hoops to obtain and earn and keep and be worthy of. This is false. And this is a trap that has nothing to do with love or with the pathway of the heart. The pathway of the heart is about being fully expressed and fully experienced and allowing others to be fully expressed and fully experienced without rules or regulations or restrictions or judgments or preference or expectations or hesitation or constriction. This theme is all about loving for the sake of loving, because, after all, Scorpio, you are love. Your 8th card out here, Scorpio, is Waterfall Moon. Right? Waterfall Moon. They're called emotions for a reason, babe. They are energy in motion, which means they need to move. When we repress our emotions, stuff them down, and pretend like we're not having them, we create stagnation in the body and the spirit and in the collective intelligence. Holding on to emotional discord creates imbalances in our character and limits our ability to perceive and access the possibilities that are available to us. So, release the energy that you are holding inside so that you can be propelled with yourself beyond the fragmentation and beyond the stagnation into truth. Feelings are never wrong and feelings are never bad, so don't go judging them. Just feel them. Allow them to flow through the entirety of your being and see how the beauty of this simple, honest act of expression creates expansion in your whole life. Beautiful. See, I'm a Scorpio, and I couldn't agree more with that. All right, now let's jump to the Oracle of the Hekatean Path to relay that message from the energetic vibration of Ophiuchus. All right, and the first card you had out here was Axis Mundi Crux. All right. As the cosmic world soul, Hekate spans the three realms of earth, sea, and sky. She herself can be viewed as a world tree symbol, and we can traverse these realms and search for answers. Hekate is the fulcrum of each world. She is the bridge, the doorway, and the key. Before we can act, we must consider what is at the core of our situation. Through her immense power, Hekate provides us with a means to explore and access things beyond our current sense of perception. The second card you have out here is Hekate's Wheel with cycles. The Wheel of Hekate evokes motion and serpentine energy. Our paths are not linear, they are repetitive, and we sometimes lose our direction, causing us to retrace already familiar ground. The serpentine energy of the wheel can usher in transformation, allowing you to shed the old like a snake sheds its skin. What habits do you need to break? What messages do you need to take heed of? And what lessons do you need to learn? And then, to complete the Trinity, the third card out is the Mysteries Initiation. The mysteries present temptations and obstacles that are both captivating and surreal. In the past, only the initiated would know the secrets and be granted specific blessings, often in the afterlife. Here, we gaze on the thin veil that separates us from where we are to where we could be, and all the potential joys and fears that come with that. This is the liminal time and space for which Hekate is so famously known. These discoveries will shape and change you. So, what lies beyond, Scorpio? What lies beyond? That was beautiful. All right, so like I mentioned towards the beginning of the reading, I said that we were going to do your Chaldean numerology for the screenshot synchronicities that I had while tuned into your energy, right, over a long period of time. And since I'm a Scorpio, of course, those came naturally, right? So you had 211, 311, 317, 334, 444, and 522. And so Scorpio, this sequence is a multi-stage alchemical passage, right? An intuitive awakening that automatically moves into expression, testing, mature service, structural stabilization, and finally, destiny aligned action. So let's get into the breakdown, right? So 211 is that moon master vision going on, and it's an intuitive awakening because 2 is the receptive lunar vibration tied to sensitivity and your overall emotional intelligence and subtle psychic noticing, right? It's that third eye. When that activates, this is where the inner world begins to speak. And with that master number 11 coming in, enhancing that heightened intuitive sight and spiritual illumination. So it's that signal that what has been felt must be noticed and respected. So together 211 is the initial wake up and an emotional nudge that becomes a clear inner message, Scorpio. While 311 coming in with it is that Jupiter energy, right? It's expansion of the vision because 3 carries Jupiter's energy. So, we're talking about that expansion, that teaching, and, the impulse to broadcast inner truth into the world. Because when 3 pairs with the master number 11, well, Scorpio, that inner knowing pushes for expression. And that's your private revelation that begins to demand a public form. So some of you could be teaching, some of you could be writing, or otherwise, sharing. So expect the first honest words of a larger story to appear here, Scorpios. With 317 coming in, it's that refinement of discernment and trial. 17 functions here as a threshold. It's a test number, right? So after the impulse to speak, 311, what is spoken meets trial. The 17 dynamic invites discernment, and not every insight is meant to be acted on immediately. So Scorpio, this is the refining fire. Truth is tested, attachment is challenged, and only that which can withstand pressure remains, right? So from the interpretive layer, we're talking about being grounded in a composite number practice. So a lot of you could be doing numerology as well, right? With 334, we have that compassion with boundaries, right? And service to others with that maturity. So, that 34 brings the 3's expansion, the practical service. 3 combined with 4 structure and discipline, right? And this stage is asking you to balance generosity with sovereignty. Serve, yes, but, do not dissolve. It's more or less that mature contribution, clear contracts, and ethical boundaries define this phase. So, it's about expression and inside the accountable service, right? While as 444 is that structural stabilization and karmic architecture. It's a master builder number, the guardian. 44 is a high-level master stabilizer frequency that anchors transformation into durable form, right? So karmic architecture, right, is protected foundations, and Scorpio, it's lineage level repair, right? Because at 444, your inner work is no longer only internal. It's structures, courtships, contracts, or legacy level projects are being secured and guarded. right? So this is where protection and long-term planning and practical boundary systems arrive for you. And then we have the whole 522, right? Which is that liberation and a destiny. It's Mercury motion, right? With that master builder, right? 5 Mercury brings movement, release, and truthful rerouting, while 22, as the master builder, converts vision into large scale manifestation. So 522 is that outward exit from initiation, which is interesting considering you had the mysteries and initiation card, right? So Scorpio, with that initiation, it's where you're having that liberated thinking and clear communication. So now from there, it's plugging directly into destiny work, where that scorpionic energy moves from initiation out of the chamber and into mission, and you're getting out into the field. So this is where expression becomes construction, because 22's master builder role, reinforced by that 5, is really where that's popping off at, right? So Scorpios, your path here is a full alchemical arc. It's an inner wake up, right? 211, that demands expression. 311 is tested and refined, and that 317 learns to serve without losing self, while the 334 secures its foundations, with 444 then steps fully into destiny-backed action. And then the icing on the cake with the sprinkles, well, that's going to be that 522. And this is that deep scorpionic, slow, and powerful initiation. So it's not flashy, but it's profound and lasting, right? All right, Scorpio. So drop a comment and let me know how this is hitting for you. Always remember to take what resonates and leave the rest. Never force the shoe to fit. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get notified anytime I do something new, right? And hit the like button and share. Don't be greedy, so that other people can get their information too. And until our paths cross again, in the name of the Crossroads, Hail Hekate.